Out with the old, in with the new. All right, it's December already. Feels like this year has like just absolutely flown by. So I hope you guys had a really good Thanksgiving if you're in the US. If you're outside of the US, I hope you had a good week. I think that's probably the way we're going to look at it. But we got some good progress made on the V10 Dakota last week. All that's good to go, ready for the motor and stuff to go back in, except we've got parts coming for it. So I could do a little bit more on the firewall, but I need a little bit more time to be able to do so. So I'm going to work on the Camaro again for this video. I know we've had a lot of Camaro, but it's come a long ways and it's very drivable now and I'm really enjoying it. But one of the things I want to do, which I don't know if I'm going to do in this video, we're going to see how much time we have, is I wanted to paint the headlight buckets and the grills. Want to get them black because the monochromatic thing is kind of not in season anymore. It was cool at one point in time, but it's like it really dates this car for some reason. As weird as that is, upgrading and painting everything, like you can tell this car is from the 90s. So we're gonna try to do that, but I don't know if I'm gonna get that done on this video. What I'm gonna do on this video is I'm going to take care of a very, very well-known issue on these cars and similar ZM vehicles. And I'm going to take this steering wheel that gets nothing but disgusting and sticky, and I'm going to take it off. And then I'm going to not fix it because I have found a company that I am somewhat familiar, or not unfamiliar with. And boy, do they have a nice quality product. I happen to see this on a Cyclone Typhoon group that I'm in because we also mess with those. And this company called Forever Sharp makes these steering wheels. And let me tell you, this thing is awesome. We're going to get to it here in a little bit more. But I ordered this wheel. It was on kind of like a Black Friday special. And it's one single piece of aluminum, billet aluminum. It's got like ribs on the back side of it. You know what? Let me why don't we lighten this up a little bit more for you guys over there? This thing is just, I can't be happier with it. So I'm going to replace the factory wheel with this guy, and it kind of looks like the factory wheel a little bit. And then you can figure out which kind of front part to put on it. I got like a carbon fiber looking deal. It's not really carbon fiber, I don't think, but it bolts to the back with a couple screws here. We have the button, and I'll show you guys that here in a second because we are going to do a little bit of pre-assembly, and then we have an adapter here for the column. So before I take all that out and lose it and have an issue with it, let's go take the wheel out of the car. Well guys, this is about the best I can get y'all in here. Wheel, right? We're gonna, first I kind of want to get it as straight as possible. I got the battery unhooked, by the way. We're gonna pull the horn button off, and then there's a clip in here that just has to be pulled out. I just get a pick to do it. Luckily that landed where I can see it. Be more careful than me. Then there's a nut, and I'm going to try to pull that nut off. It is 13/16. Get my stubby ratchet. There we go. It goes off. Now I'm going to pull the horn ring off, which is 3 Phillips head screws. With the right tools, it only takes about 5 minutes to get these wheels off. There's 1, 2, and 3. Horn ring, isolator, all that fun stuff comes out. I'm going to try to keep it together. We'll put it back on the wheel. And now, the fun part. Hopefully, you have a steering wheel puller. Some people will say you can get it off by just moving it back and forth. I don't think that's happening. There's my horn button. We're going to hang on to this. We're actually replacing that. But I do have a steering wheel puller, so let me get out what I need to line up as best as possible as I can. If you've never used one of these before, I recommend getting with someone who has, just so you know what you got going on. There we go. And then the wheel is off. Yeehaw. Let's go take a look at everything else outside. Okay, let's talk about this old one for a second. I remember this wheel from my old Camaro. And it's very kind of iconic, but it's terribly ugly in my opinion. And it just always has been. With that said, it is what it is, you know? You get what you get. But these things are known to off-gas. It's already starting to off-gas. It gets real sticky. And you have to, like, clean these things a specific way. And then it's good for a little while. But then a couple of years later, it comes right back. And it depends on humidity and a bunch of other things. And while I could just try to make this work, I don't care anything about this car being original. This is not the Nova. This is my fun toy hot rod. So this is out, right? Then we got the Forever Sharp wheel. I don't remember the model, but I kind of got one that has 4 spokes like the original. This thing is so light compared to that other wheel. It's incredible. And then you have the grip, which the grip is going to go on with these screws here. So I'll find a wrench here in a second to put those on. I'll probably put a little bit of Loctite on them too, because why not? And in order to have a horn, you gotta figure out which horn button you want. I just got the black Chevrolet one, and I'm a big fan of that. I don't know if you guys are or not, but that looks pretty good to me. And then I also bought this, what they call the A01 adapter for GM vehicles. They have all kinds of different adapters for different vehicles and things to that extent. Kind of wish I had found these guys before I bought the one for the Dakota, but that's okay. So this is the A01 adapter, and it adapts from 5 or 6 bolts. I didn't know quite which one I needed, so I bought the universal one, but it'll work just fine. Yep, that's going to be north. We have an identifier, and it comes with horn conversion kit. So in theory, all this stuff should work pretty good. But what I'm going to do first is I need to assemble this wheel. So why don't we do that, and let me go get the tools that I need. All right, I don't think this part's going to be rocket science. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bolts on the back of this guy. We're just going to line them up. Take our Allen bolts, a little bit of blue Loctite. And we're going to throw these puppies in there. Shouldn't be much more difficult than that. All right, I got all those guys in there. I'm just going to give a little snug on these things. I definitely don't want to go very tight on them because it doesn't seem like that's a great idea. Okay, there, our grip, I guess you could call it, is on. All right, now most of the rest of this stuff's going to happen inside the vehicle, except I'm going to do one thing outside the vehicle. I'm going to throw our wheel over here. I'm going to take our adapter and I believe our horn kit, which is right here. This is the horn kit that comes with the wheel. This is the one that comes with the adapter. All I'm doing is pulling out one. I need to pull out all the bolts that are going to go into the adapter. We're going to need those later, but there's this little guy here that actually is going to bolt to here, which is going to be the ground. So I don't see a screw for it. So I got to figure that one out. Are we missing it? Not, I have to find a screw for this little guy. Boy, is he a little guy. Hope I didn't lose that somewhere. Dang it. So don't be like me and don't lose that little screw. But if you're wondering if you do, this little guy, it's $1 for this little guy. And it's like M3 by 0.5 pitch. I don't know if that makes sense to you. It doesn't really make sense to me. I don't speak UK very well, but I had to go to Ace Hardware and get one. All right, let's continue on with what we are doing here. I'm taking the A01. This is a low profile adapter, so it's smaller than the bigger one, and it's all one piece. And you're going to have a horn button go through there and stuff like that. In order for it to work, you have to have a ground, and that's what this ground is right here. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ground it in that little bitty hole right there. And I'd rather do this now while I can see what I'm doing instead of inside the car. So that's going to be a ground. You're going to see that this right here, our horn button, will eventually connect to it. So it's saying upside down. This is to the ground connector, so this will eventually connect here. And then I got this guy here that we're going to go put in the car. So let's go do that real quick. Before we get over there, because you're not going to be able to see it in the car, let me show you how to assemble this. This is the ground cable that comes in the package for the adapter. And there's a gold end and a silver end. The silver end is the spade terminal. We're actually going to put this plastic piece right here over the silver end into the spade terminal like that. So over the spade terminal onto the little bell terminal. So now that y'all see that, you'll see this as well. This is our second piece. This is an itty bitty little spring, and I'll go show you how we're going to put that together. All right, guys, we're going to see what we can do here. So this is part of the turn signal cancel cam, which is also the horn. And there is a spring in here. If I can carefully get in there, we need to get that spring out. All right, then we're going to take our longer spring. We're going to put it in to the horn deal. I don't know what you want to call it. Our gold end goes in there as well. And then we're going to try to get it all happy and locked in place, which that's it right there. Sweet. The rest of this isn't too terrible. Take our adapter. It can really only go on one way. You can either put the horn through here or through here. I know previously it was through the side one right here. So we're going to take our black wire, run it through our adapter, and then we get it all on there. Sweet. We're going to take our nut. I'm going to get that down on there. And then we're going to run it down. Do we still have a little bit of a gap there? Yeah, we do. I like it. I think that's pretty good. As long as we're not rubbing, I think we're going to be okay. That's it. Now we're going to put our little clip on. Maybe. Let me go get the rest of it. All right, before I commit too much, I had to test out the horn. So I got the horn connected to the switch and we're working. So that's good. That's really good. I had to open up the spade terminal from the column just a little bit to get it all to work, but now let's get all the bolts and get this done. All right, this is how this is gonna have to work. We're gonna have to get these lines, wires probably better than lines, through the steering wheel. Had to do a ballet here. You know what? I'm gonna put a screw in here for a minute. There we go. That helps. And then let's get the horn hooked up. I believe I did it this way. Let me crush that a little bit. It's a little too easy to put on there. There's that. And then there's this one. Slide this guy on there. There we go. Okay. What's the best way to do this? You want the wires in there. Something like that. I think it's gonna work. We'll get the bolts started. Maybe. I think that's started. Yeah. There we go. I'll get a couple in here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to Loctite the other three I put in, and then I'll pull these two out and Loctite them. And don't worry, that moves, so we can get that all centered up. That's perfect. This is a badass wheel. All right, now a little Loctite. And repeat 2 more times. Or at least, actually 4 more times. All right, everything's got Loctite on it. Let's get a, kind of like a wheel. We're gonna do it in a star pattern. Like a, you know, like a actual wheel and tire. That feels pretty good. Oh yeah, that's nice. Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. Gives you a little extra room. It's a smaller wheel than the other one, but yes. All right, let's check the horn out. All right, here we go. Hey! Yay! Hadn't started in a little while. Oh, that feels nice. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That's a win, guys. That's a win. Uh-oh. I think that's the horn. All right. All right. I'll take it. I don't know about you, but I am super happy with that wheel. I don't think I could be happier. I think this is the perfect wheel for this car. It looks so good. It modernizes the interior a little bit, but it doesn't look cheesy and it doesn't look cheap. And I think a lot of that has to do with that stubby adapter and the fact that everything works, like the horn and stuff. I'm super stoked about. I think it's exactly what this car needed. Now, I still have some stuff to do to the shifter, and I have some ideas for that. I want to get rid of some of that chrome, so we'll figure out that on another episode. But what do y'all think? Do y'all like the old wheel better than this one, or y'all like this guy? I don't know. I'm big fan, big fan. So, oh man, what else do we got going on? We got a lot going on. I'm going to be working on the V10 Dakota this weekend. I've got good news about this, but I can't divulge you guys into that news yet until I have some things finalized. We got some projects to work on over the winter here in Houston. So if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and hanging out. We'd love to have you. We also do some stuff on Facebook and Instagram at The Racer X Garage. Sometimes I post up what I'm working on before the video comes out. So with that said, this video is probably short, and I'm sorry, but I wanted to get something out for you guys this weekend. The schedule's going to be a little inconsistent for a little bit because it's the holidays. I've had some very important personal stuff to take care of and attend. That just kind of gets in the way of doing these kinds of things. So my apologies if you're wanting a video every weekend, which is what I usually strive to do. But towards the end of the year, that's really hard to make that happen. And just hang tight. We'll get there. We'll get there. Like I said, this weekend I plan to be working on the V10 Dakota S-Box. I have an idea for the firewall, and I think it's going to work. So I'm hoping to get out here and kind of get started on some of that. But we also almost have all the parts we need to start working on the V10 itself. We got some very exciting stuff to do with that, so I can't wait to share that with you guys. I think that's going to be it. I hope you guys had a fantastic Thanksgiving. I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday. If I don't see you guys over Christmas wait a second. If I don't see you guys with another video before Christmas, have a very, very Merry Christmas. And we'll see you next time. Until next time, y'all know the deal. Y'all be good.